Hey, it's Tim, pickup truck plus SUV talk. This is different. I'm doing a truck news recap and I'm doing a live stream together. The reason is I'm in a hotel room here in Detroit driving this Chevy Silverado EV and Equinox EV tomorrow. And I just wanted to get this information out to you guys as quickly as I could, as efficiently as I could. And I wasn't sure about the Wi-Fi in the hotel. So this is what I got. Bear with me. I just got back from California where we drove the Raptor R and the Ford F-150 Tremor. That stuff's coming out on the 22nd. And there's also some driving next week. So lots of videos coming out for you. I'm driving like 40 vehicles next week at a spring rally with the Midwest Automotive Media Association. So lots of details coming your way, but I want to get information out to you this morning. First thing, right at the bat. So again, apologies for the setting or sound, whatever's going on. I am not at home, and well, this is live on the YouTubes. So I want to get to write some details for you on this truck news recap. Get right into it. So we first had a story that hit yesterday, and I was reading it while I was on the plane, thinking about it quite a bit. It's kind of an interesting story. So Ford issues a call to action for EV suppliers. And basically, there was a leaked memo that Ford had sent to the suppliers asking for their help. They're like, help us to reduce costs. It's interesting. Suppliers are grappling with lower volumes, so that means they can't do as much cost cutting because they don't build as many parts and things. Volume's low. And Ford's like, please help us find ways to cut costs. So they recently contacted parts makers on EV programs, requested ideas for cutting costs. It's according to a supplier memo obtained by Crane's Detroit business. The memo is basically saying, please help us find ways to cut costs. Here's a direct quote. We have all invested heavily in the success of the EV business, and we'll all win or lose together, Liz Dorr, the automaker's chief supply chain officer, said in the memo. To ensure affordability, it is paramount importance that our EV portfolio achieves further levels of material cost efficiency. Now, this makes a lot of sense because the EV business has been an enormous money loser for Ford. It racked up $5.5 billion losses last year. They've cut back on some plans for vehicles coming out. They delayed a new small EV pickup for another year, and SUV as well. Plants are changing stuff. Yeah, so here we go. Ford reduced the size of the planned battery plant in Marshall. It's decreasing projected volume of F-150 Lightning. It's also pushed the launch of a new electric pickup in 2026 and a large electric crossover to 2027. So it asked suppliers to develop an incremental cost reduction proposals. And what I think is interesting is right here. We need your best ideas to drive cost reduction, even if they've been previously rejected by Ford. So even if we told you no, tell us your idea again, because maybe we're going to say yes now. We'd also be willing to consider ideas that may require investment, but support profitability. Everything's on the table. So yeah, this is a big deal. Cost is at table stakes here at Ford. The cost pressured area for Ford, it's a lot of details going on as far as trying to reduce costs, trying to make the trucks more valuable, trying to make them cheaper, trying to get you guys to buy them. This is quite the memo. So other news going on, this is kind of an insider baseball news, but I thought it was interesting. Tim Esterdahl is retiring from Stellantis. Now, he had been overseeing Dodge and Ram combined, and he's going to be replaced by Ram. Going to be replaced by Chrysler CEO Christine Fuyao. I'm not sure how to say that one, and she's going to add Ram trucks to responsibility. And Mac McClear, he oversees, I believe, Alpha right now. He's going to take over for Dodge. What's interesting about that news, in my opinion, is that that'll be the third new Ram CEO in as many years. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with Ram. Ram sales are down. Jeep sales are down dramatically. Dodge had just launched the muscle cars, which you can find more on the Tim Talks Cars YouTube channel. If you haven't replied that one or checked it out, please do. I'm starting a new little car channel on the side. So talked about that over there. Brotherhood of Muscle is going to drive EVs. I don't know. He was sold on it. Now he's retiring. Apparently, there's some more details of that story that I've been hearing kind of behind the scenes, but I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things. It's not like it's a big deal breaker for a lot of people, but I thought you guys might want to know about that because, yeah, Ram is replacing a CEO yet again, and they're combining the roles, and Chrysler CEO is taking over. And Chrysler, no offense, they sell a minivan. That's going to be interesting. All right, over on the pickuptrucktalk.com website, I want to make sure we get the details, some stories over there for you guys as well. We have a couple of big ones that kind of came out. The federal government is looking into a botched recall for the Bronco Sport, as I called it. Basically, the Bronco Sport has an issue where it's leaking fuel, and instead of replacing the injectors, Ford put a tube in there to put the fuel, to shift the fuel away. And the feds were like, hold on a minute. That doesn't make any sense. And they're asking for answers. They're asking for volumes of information. They want them to justify their fix and also explain what kind of cost analysis they did. Is it from their viewpoint, Ford took the cheapest route possible to fix that recall, and they want them to fix it right. So, hmm, interesting. We also the 2025 Genesis GV80 was refreshed and refined. First drive from that. Jill had that in Fort Worth, Texas, and there's some new details on that one. Included heated armrests, which is the thumbnail for the video we'll see in just a minute. Have you ever heard of heated armrests? That got my attention. The 2024 Chevy Silverado EV RST has been more details announced. I'm driving that tomorrow, and I think it's tomorrow or Monday, one of the two. Anyways, they're looking at 440 miles plus a sub $100,000 price. Oh, I have a reservation for the RST, and I think it looks pretty cool. And I just saw a bunch of black ones out there this morning that went for some coffee. It looks pretty damn cool. But let me bring the camera back here for a minute. Sorry, impromptu studio. 100 sub $100,000, like $96,000 for a half ton pickup. They've kind of priced me out of the market, honestly. I can't afford that, and I don't know if I even want to afford that. That's just too much money. So maybe they need to do Ford's trick and go ask their suppliers to help cut costs, because that price has got to come down. I don't know. It's just 440 miles is pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. I did the video last Saturday on the Duramax diesel owners got caught. They're saying GM cheated through defeat devices for the Duramax diesels, and it's an interesting legal battle. Basically, the owners are trying to sue GM, but they can't sue GM because it's between GM and the EPA, and the EPA says they're fine. So if that makes any sense to you, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot about DEF, cutting down NOx fumes, and about the SCR system, the catalyst in there to break down the NOx fumes. And then finally, I want to wrap this up. I want to get some photos of this too. This is the Chinese-built 2024 BYD Shark plug-in hybrid pickup. So that's a lot to say, right? So BYD is build your dreams. It's a Chinese company. It has Tesla worried. It has GM worried. It's got Ford worried. President Biden just put down 100% tariff on the BYD vehicles because they're subsidized by the state of China. And it's an unfair playing advantage is what they're saying. So, but this is a plug-in hybrid pickup truck. And this is something you guys have been asking for years on this channel. I get comments all the time. I don't want to go full EV. Totally get that. I'd like to go hybrid if I need be. Okay, I get that too. And it's like, well, where's the plug-in hybrid pickup? And it's always been a challenge with that because of weight. And you have trying to get a big enough battery and a small enough engine to make it kind of work together. And BYD has done it. So these are interesting details. Let's scroll to the bottom because I just finished writing the story yesterday. But 430 horsepower, 1,841 maximum pounds of payload. As we know how that goes, that's only certain models. 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds and can tow up to 5,500 pounds. And that's a ute. And this BYD is basically a ute, they call it globally. It's a couple inches smaller than the wheelbase of the smallest Tacoma. It's a few inches, I think it's several inches smaller than the larger Tacoma. I'll get to that details. You have an estimated maximum range of 528 miles when you use a 1.5 four-cylinder engine. And I couldn't figure out if that's gasoline or diesel. No details on that. I think it's gasoline. 62 miles all electric range. I was talking to a guy on a plane last night. He said, once you get 60 miles, I'll be there for a plug-in. I'm like, well, here you go. No torque numbers announced. Kind of curious. It should charge 20% from 20% to 80% in 30 minutes. That's using a fast charging setup. Most plug-in hybrids don't do fast charging because you don't need it. It's a small 30 kilowatt battery. But in this case, they're allowing you to do it. There is a dual mode off-road chassis, the first one they've ever developed for BYD. It is a virtual differential. It's likely software management that's going to send torque different tires. It's all-wheel drive, 3 drive modes, sand, snow, and mud. I want to scroll down. Okay, here we go. It has a 128.3-inch wheelbase, a little shorter than the smallest 2024 Toyota Tacoma at 131.9 inches. The longer Tacoma, crew cab, the 5-foot bed, has a 145.1-inch wheelbase. Inside the cabin, it's what you'd imagine. You have a big screen. We've got a big screen, a pretty chunky shifter right in the middle. The vents have some stitching around them, and the seats got some stitching around them. And the screen in the middle is a digital driver screen. So just what you imagine for most new vehicles, it's how it's looking. And then pricing, it won't be in the United States. You can't buy this because of the tariffs and it's not all that kind of stuff. But it starts at $53,440. So you're looking at probably there's a GS and a GL and GS, 2 different trims. So let's say all in, you're probably with the dealer destination plus So you get some options, probably about $60,000 for a smaller truck than Tacoma. Still seats 4, and it has the I thought I put the gallery in here. Shoot. It seats 4, and it's got a smaller than the Tacoma. So sorry about that. I have a photo gallery. I have to put that in there. Anyways, that's basically what we're looking at. So I thought it was interesting. Like I said, you guys have been asking about a plug-in hybrid truck for years. Here it is. You can't buy it, but would you buy it? Would you spend $60,000 for a smaller truck that had 62 miles electric range and a 1.5 or 1.4 cylinder engine? Interesting stuff. Over on the YouTube channel, we had kind of a busy week. Let's see. I'm looking back to when I actually did the last news recap. It's been a hot minute. Been out of town. So let's see. We have the new Rogue. I did the Kia Sorento. We had the Subaru Forester first drive. This was interesting. That's the last news recap. Was the Toyota using new Chevron fuel? A lot of people have been emailing different topics about that. Look, guys, it's a pilot program. It's a new fuel. There's questions about how much biomass, questions about price, questions about all sorts of stuff, and we have no answers. It's a pilot program. I talked about my update for the Ram 1500 RHO, ordering close, ordering open, ordering close. Been really weird back and forth. Jill has an Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio. It is a nice looking vehicle, but a lot of long name. And the Duramax story we talked about. I also drove the Dodge Hornet in like the worst possible conditions. That was kind of my, what am I do with this thing? Everybody's done a video on this. What am I going to do? I drove it in the windstorm, high speed, and sport mode. I don't figure what the hell. We have Genesis GV80 first drive from the deal, like I said, heat armrest. And then the Land Rover Defender. A lot of people talking about that. And somebody corrected me. Apparently they're aluminum wheels, not steelies. They look like steel wheels. I don't know, guys. It really doesn't matter anymore. That's the look of them. So to me, it's just, they look cool. So it turned around a lot of rigs, turned a lot of heads. And I'm not sure about reliability still. I'm just a question about that. And then we did the Kia EV9 road trip yet again. We have covered the Kia EV9 exhaustively, and we're kind of out of ideas. So that was kind of our best idea was, hey, let's go for a road trip and talk about it again and see if the ideas, see if it won the awards and why it won the awards. Maybe it's still good or not. I don't know. That was kind of the best we had for that one. But the Bronco video, Land Rover video, it says better than a Bronco in the thumbnail, which got me thinking about Bronco. The Land Rover Defender video, my wife flew the drone for the first time. So there's really cool footage in that. I don't know if I can. I don't really want to play it always, but I see if I can scroll over. It's just going to show me my preview is just my interior footage. But yeah, there's if you want to see how beautiful Nebraska can actually be on the Western Slope where I'm at, yeah, it's really pretty from that. In that video, there's a lot of some drone footage. Worthwhile, a couple minutes. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Just a couple minutes to see what that looks like. So that was kind of impromptu live stream. I'm heading to lunch here in a little bit, and I just wanted to get this information out to you guys about the Ford cutting costs. GM's Chevy Silverado RST price point, which has got me doing the chin rub. That's a lot of money. Plug-in truck was announced, but you can't buy it. But would you buy it for $60,000? It's a lot of coin. I don't know how to be working with that one. All right, that's what details for you today. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.